Hello, hello, hello. NYKF31 here, bringing you some baseball. MLB 15, the show. And this is pretty much what I'm playing, folks. This, NBA, My League, and FIFA and PES, for the most part, until Madden 16. I'm in Madden 15 retirement. As far as head-to-head goes, I'm still playing my CFM. My fantasy drafted CFM just for kicks and giggles, but my meat and potatoes has been MLB The Show recently, and the road to 162, playing all 162 games in franchise mode the first season before I do any simming, and I'm at game number 66 as of this video. I just finished the month of June pretty recently, and we're at 33 and 33. Getting good pitching. Alex Cobb going today up against Scherzer, though. That's going to be tough. But I get good pitching from my starters for the most part. Chris Archer, Matty Moore, Alex Cobb does a pretty decent job. My fourth and fifth guys are kind of up and down, which, most fourth and fifth starters are going to be. The back end of my bullpen is pretty strong, so I feel pretty good about my pitching. There's Mr. Scherzer, the beast that he is. Lineup, I need an outfield bat. I need some type of corner outfield bat. Kiermaier's pretty good, but I have a gaping hole at left. I could use a little bit more pop at first base. I mean, Loney's a good glove. And I've really actually finally gotten Longoria going, which has helped out a ton. Started out really slow with him. You see I'm using zone hitting here. I just kind of switch things up when I get bored. I've been using directional for the most part with a little bit of zone here and there. When I get bored, I'll go from zone for a stretch and then go back to directional. And I've pretty much kept pitching and fielding where they're at. But I don't know. Hitting, I go back and forth. What do you guys think as far as hitting interfaces go? I think that directional is good, but I think limited to a certain degree. I think zone gives you the most freedom. The problem that I run into when I'm using directional hitting is that I have a hard time with low pitches and pitches on the corners as far as being able to reach them. And also I noticed that, and I had to go back and watch a video on the hitting interfaces just to kind of confirm what I was thinking. But because directional hitting, you're relying on a button press and then you're able to selectively influence the ball where you want it to go. Sometimes you can make or get feedback showing that you've made good contact but still miss the ball. Or good timing, rather, and still miss the ball. Zone, I think, is a little bit more of a user rewarding interface. But I feel like it has its shortcomings as well, but more on the user versus user side. I think it's very difficult to pitch to a guy who's a really good zone hitter because you can just cover so much plate. But against a CPU, I don't really feel that that's as much as a factor. Because you can really use zone hitting like directional, really. Just look for a pitch in a certain zone, take if it's not in the zone, and then when you have two strikes, just kind of protect. You can do that pretty much with all interfaces, so I don't really think it matters there. Like here, I'm just looking kind of low and inside, trying to get something that I can get under and pull. Just trying to find a pitch that I can do something with in a hot zone. And, nothing's automatic as far as that goes either. You can get a pitch in your zone and still miss it. Or sometimes with a guy like Scherzer, he's just a beast and he doesn't care where your hot zone is. You're not going to hit him. But overall, no matter what interface I'm using, whether directional or zone, I feel like I've finally over the past few weeks gotten comfortable at the plate, reading these pitches and swinging at more hitter strikes as opposed to pitcher strikes. That's really the key. But of course, you can say all that, hit the ball right in the button, and line right into a double play. Baseball can be a cruel, cruel mistress. You can hit the ball sharply and hit the ball right at fielders all game, and the other team, or if you're playing online, your opponent can be sawed off at the handles and hit a blooper right over your third baseman. And there I give up a leadoff double to Bryce Harper. And I really can't afford to give up too much because I don't think I'm going to get too much. Fourth inning, it's already 0-0, and I squandered a couple of really good chances. And I'm going to fall behind 1-0. I thought I had him here, but I guess not. So 1-0 is not the worst thing in the world. Up 3-0. And I get a walk, so again, I gotta cash in on these suckers. Now, for you guys who play this game a lot, and now Scherzer's out of the game, thankfully, for you guys who play this game and play franchise mode, have you ever played all 162 games of a season before? And if so, how long did it take you? I think I'm in a pretty good groove now, and again, I hit the ball sharp, but I line it right to the second baseman. Ugh. But anyway, how long did it take you to play through all 162? Or if you're a guy who sims, how many games do you sim per series? Do you sim every other game? Do you play one game per series? How do you go about doing it? Do you sim weeks at a time? Do you play every fifth game? What works best for you as far as getting the best balance between gameplay and expediency? I just decided to do this because of a thread on OS Sports where people are actually doing that, playing all 162. I said, you know what, why not try it? To give a 3-1 bomb to Jason Worth. I just want to have one season where every stat that is earned is done by me. And I mix up using quick counts and having quick counts off. Sometimes I don't like quick counts. It kind of ruins the rhythm of my at-bat, and it can screw you up in situations where you want to hit and run, you just steal a base or lay a sacrifice bunt down, because I really don't know the logic that goes behind where the count starts, but sometimes you'll end up with some pretty bad counts for doing things like sacrifice bunting or trying to move the runner over on a hit and run or just doing a flat steal. But the best thing about quick counts is that it does speed the game up a great deal. And also, I think it's really good for getting more realistic on-base percentages, because even if you're up against a pitcher that doesn't have great control, you're not going to get a realistic walk rate, I feel, playing without the quick counts. So, if you're a stat purist, I think that's another advantage of using quick counts. But in this game I didn't. I just played straight. And I lost 4-0. So we're going to go back under 500 and we're going to have to bounce back. I had a good streak to get to 500. I don't want to dip. I actually came into this game only 2.5 games out, as no one else in the AL East has kind of pulled away. So I don't want to lose ground. I want to keep myself in it and hopefully pull a trade for a bat. So hope you guys enjoyed. I will talk to you all later. Peace. Max Scherzer, strike a pose. He's our top player of the